Okay, I think we got it. Hey, tribe. We are live. Maybe somebody just look at your phone or something and make sure we're really live in the tribe, but I think I fixed it and that we are. Okay, we are expecting probably one or two more people hopping on here. But we're going to get started with sun up to sundown, our routines. Someone tell me yes, we're live in the tribe. Yes. Okay, cool. So I guess I'll just get us started and then I will call on you guys and you can jump in and tell us and we will try to keep this super short because I know I can talk and talk and talk about all my favorite things, but I'm going to try to limit myself to 2 minutes on my AM routine and 2 minutes on my PM routine. In the morning, and this was super hard, I just have to say, when Megan said 5 things, I kind of snuck in some extra things because it's super hard to leave yourself only 5 things. But in the morning, how could I not say Ninja Red? Ninja Red is my everyday, for me and the whole family, antioxidant superpower. Just real quick, some things that I have noticed over the years from using Ninja Red. I started it just to boost my immune system, but what happened was my hairdresser noticed I had lots of new hairs growing in on top of my head and pointed that out to me. I was taking dry eye drops and I noticed I didn't need them anymore. My allergies over time stopped being a thing that I had to use the lemon, lavender, peppermint for every single morning. You notice that wasn't part of my morning routine. I only have to do that when the pollen count is super high, like it has been with the bursting trees everywhere in the last few weeks. So it definitely strengthened my immune system because we don't get sick all the time. And other evidence of that, because allergies are a symptom of a weakened immune system, we I don't have to use that LLP anymore. So many things that Ninja does for me: energy, skin, like all the things. Joy and valor. This is how I kind of snuck in a 6th thing on her, was saying joy and valor together. Because I use both of those emotional oils every single morning. Valor has been my anxiety superpower. All the years since I started with oils, that was like the second thing I wanted to conquer after I figured out allergies, was to get off of anxiety meds. And I did that by using Valor. Joy over my heart has been every single morning for 6.5 years because that came in my first premium starter kit. And I loved so much how that made me feel in the morning and got me started with a little more pep in my step and a better attitude, and has definitely got me through some hard times since then. So joy and valor go in my body every single morning. I really wanted to say CBD here, so I snuck it in at night instead because I do use it morning and night. So I'll talk about that when we do the PM, the sundown routines. And then I said Super B, and you guys, I was just telling a couple of people in a group message where we were planning something a little while ago. Super B, I had to skip it today and yesterday because I am having my blood drawn in the morning and I wanted to see just really where I'm at with all of the things. And I don't feel so great. My energy is not so great. My mood has not been so great. And I feel like I'm just kind of etching along. Like it feels like a little hamster is what's on the wheel in my brain instead of my normal thought process. Like the Super B does so much for cognizant health, for your heart, hormones. Like B vitamins are super amazing, mood boosting, energy boosting, and all of the things. Endoflex, if you did the hormone coach group with me this last time, you know how much I love Endoflex. It is like the bare minimum for when you want to work on your hormones naturally, because it has so much good stuff in it to help your endocrine system work the best it possibly can. And it gives me a little bit of a boost in the mood and energy as well. And then thieves, like, how could I not say thieves? Because I've been telling you guys forever that I roll that on my feet, right? To stay well. So that is my typical AM routine. Like, I didn't tell you about how I wash my face and brush my teeth and all of the things, but you and wear deodorant, like, you can assume that the rest of that is Young Living products too. I just definitely hit my top 5, 6 in there. So that is my sun up routine. Erin, you're the next little box next to my face. So you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next. Can we just assume that Ningxia Red is like a given? Because that's that's for sure number one in our routine. And I think I've shown you guys this before. And it's so funny that everybody was talking about the oils and stuff because I was automatically thinking supplements when I was talking about my AM routine, but I totally use P plus. I use mine in the morning. I noticed everybody uses it at night. I use mine in the morning and EndoFlex. So those are like one of the first 2 things that I put on. But I use this from Amazon. We have 4 people in our family and each color has 4 slots in it. So every Sunday night I open it up. It's got 7 days. So every Sunday night I open it up and I fill it up with all of our supplements for the week. So each morning I take one out and I line up our Ningxia shot glasses in order. And then I lay their supplements out in front of it. So that has been a game changer as far as like keeping our morning routine, because opening bottles every single morning and making sure that everybody got what they needed, because everybody takes a little bit something different, was really difficult. And so this is my Sunday night chore. So this definitely has helped us. So big ones that we take for sure, Ningxia. Hang on just a second. Presley, can you get those out of the oven? Sorry, my oldest decided she was gonna bake cookies for a class project, and then she picked up a shift at work. So that means that mom's baking cookies for a class project. So let me not burn her class project. So while I'm walking around the kitchen, multi-greens has been a game changer, and that's definitely one that we take every single day. I can't typically get enough greens in my teenagers. And it's for sure one of those that I can tell when we don't take it, or when I don't take it personally. I'll let them speak for their own digestive system, but it makes I'm typically like I'm a regular person, but multi-greens has definitely, I can tell a huge difference from when I take it versus when I don't. Do you know, like healthy versus just going kind of thing? So multi-greens is for sure a big one. We take Super B every day as well. So I'm going to say multi-greens, Super B, Ningxia, and then my EndoFlex and P plus together for sure are part of our morning routine, or mine anyway.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I see Mindy. Does Mindy want to go next?
We're just like tag teaming whoever's next. You're it. Okay, so most of mine have already been taken because, like, again, I think everybody does Ningxia, and I mix mine with coconut water so I can use it to take all of my supplements that I take in the morning. So I take Super B and multi-greens together. And I didn't put this on there, but I also take Olive Essentials. And so I mix multi-green, Super B, and Olive Essentials in the same bottle. So that way I just shake them out. So that's kind of like I don't have the cool supplement thing, but that's my cheat. I started taking the ICP daily for just like almost a month now. And I was intrigued by the Gentle Daily Cleanse aspect of it. That's what I really wanted. It also helps flush out toxins, which, who can't benefit from that. I've only been on it for a couple of weeks, but I don't know how many of you ever got on or were at the gut class, and we were talking about like how many times a day that you poop, and that may be TMI for y'all. But sometimes it makes me go more than once a day, which I hear is good because usually I don't, but sometimes it does. Yeah, I see a thumbs up from Nikki. So yeah, something's going on with that. And it really does taste good. It's like passion fruit flavor, and it really does taste good. I will be honest, I don't take quite a full scoop because I can't make it dissolve all the way in my 8 ounces of water. So I've been taking about maybe 2/3 of this scoop, which I don't know. It's working fine, I guess, for me. Um, I got Endoflex Thieves. Y'all have already covered that. The other one that's on my morning routine that y'all haven't talked about is Super C. And I use that one to help kickstart my immune system. And there's something in Super C, I'm not sure what it was, that actually helps your body absorb the vitamin C to, I think I'll put in my little post to help get those antioxidants going. So, I mean, I know it's starting to get into summer and like, the sick factor is kind of going down, especially for us teachers, but we are still teachers and we are still around all of the people and all of the kids, and there are still germs out there. So, um, that's that's my morning routine. So I'm going to kick it over to my friend Michael.
Yay, thank you, Mindy. So I use most of the supplements that people have talked about. So I kind of went a different route, and I went towards skincare and makeup. So the first thing in the morning, I use the Bloom Brightening Cleanser to clean my face. And I do use a different cleanser at nighttime, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But the Bloom line is great for evening up your skin tones. Yeah, I can tell you, I wish I'd known about some of this stuff when I was younger. I'm older now, and I have, damaged skin from sun and all that kind of stuff. But it does help even with your older skin. So that's the first thing I do. Next, I use the CBD Beauty Boost. It is so silky and smooth on your face, and I put it on every day. And I didn't put it as one of my 5 because I had to limit it, but I do add sacred frankincense to it. And then I use my jade roller and just roll it all on my face, and it feels so good. The jade roller is cool, and it's just invigorating to your face so early in the morning. The next, the volumizing mascara. I have these small squinty eyes, and so I need something that adds a little and short eyelashes. So I want something that adds a little volume to my eyes, and I love this mascara. I've used other mascaras in the past. My eyes are sensitive and they can start watering after I put mascara on, and I typically don't have a problem with this. So it's my favorite mascara. I've stuck with it. I think it was released about a year ago, and so haven't made any changes with that. And then my favorite eyeshadow, and I pulled it out. This is the Natural Quartz eyeshadow palette. It's my favorite. I like the Petal and the Dragonfly, I think it's what it's called. Those are my 2 favorite eyeshadows that I use every day. It's pretty. I said on my post, it enhances my brown eyes because there's some purple in it. And so if you don't have this palette, I suggest getting it. It's so good. And I have almost all of the eyeshadow palettes, even some of the older one. And I love all the palettes. And then my last one, the Crowned All Over Bronzer. It just adds a little warmth to your face and adds a little bit of shimmer. And I just put it like on my cheekbones right here and on my forehead. I tell you, I went to a conference a couple years ago, and Wendy Ogden, is that her name? She's the makeup person. She's my hero. She has such beautiful skin, and her makeup is so pretty. And I was like, how does she get her cheekbones to just be so shimmery? And it's the Crown All Over bronzer that she uses. And so when she's underneath those lights, it just picks up those accents. So I started using that too. So that is just a limited amount of the things that I do in my morning routine. And then Charlotte, you want to go next?
Hey, thanks, Michael. Well, I pretty much I use everything that everyone has said so far, except one on my list was the Super Cow Plus. I have osteoporosis, and I can't take the medication for it because I'm real allergic. and which, you know, it lowers your immune system and things like that. But so I have to use, I've researched all these supplements, and of course, Young Living was the best. So I started taking Super Cal, and I could tell a difference in my bones and things, not feeling as weak. And I felt a little stronger. So that is a must. I have to have Super Cal every single day for me to survive. And of course, my Endoflex, you know, Nikki takes the Endoflex, but I put it in a capsule with the CBD oil, and I do 3 drops, and then I add Frank and Valor. And those are hard hitters because I am an emotional person. So I get really grouchy and angry. And so my people know when I have not had my Endoflex and things. So that's a must. We always have to have the Endoflex and everything, but I do the Super B and vitamin D. But Super Cal is the main thing for me, for sure. Of course, Ningxia Red. Moving and everything, I haven't been as faithful with the Ningxia Red because that was, you know, having to replenish, and I use the bottles. So having to move all that. So now I'll just order it and have it. But yes, Ningxia Red is definitely on that list always and everything. But yeah, so that's what I do. I definitely, if you haven't tried Super Cal Plus, actually it helps you absorb. It's wonderful. So like your vitamin D that you take, it helps you absorb all those extra supplements that you take. So Super Cal is not only great for your bones and things, but it's great to help you absorb your vitamin D or any kind of medication that you take. It helps you absorb it better into your system. So that's exactly why I take it. And my son takes it, Xander, along with the Olive Essentials. So it's really good. Super Cal is excellent to help you absorb all these wonderful nutrition, you know, the Ningxia Red and everything that you take every day. So I think you should add that and try it out because you will see a difference. Definitely.
That's awesome. I actually just ordered that for the first time because I'm like, I've been dairy free for 6.5 years. I probably should have been taking a calcium supplement, huh? So gonna start doing that. Megan, you're up. Tell us your sun up routine.
All right, good morning. Well, not really good morning, but in the morning, first, I'm not a morning. Get up and we get out of the house like in as little time as possible so that we can sleep to the last possible minute. I'm not one of those early risers and you know, to wake up slowly. I have to wake up slowly, but I hit the snooze button like 10 times. Don't ask my husband. He is not like that. So my morning routine doesn't really start until I get to school. But the first thing I do is brush my teeth with the Thieves whitening toothpaste, which I love. And I'll admit, when I first started with the Young Living toothpaste, it took some time to get used to because it's not foamy like traditional toothpaste. So that was a little weird at first, but once I got used to it, I love it. And like on those rare occasions that, you know, I have to use one of those little samples from the dentist or whatever, it's so weird. So I love the whitening toothpaste the most. My husband Phil likes the Aroma Bright. The boys like the sleek one. So we all have to have a different toothpaste, but I love the whitening toothpaste. And then I'm out the door. Okay, so then when I get to school, that's when I have my Ningxia and I take my Super B because, like I said, not a morning person, so I need the energy and I need the happy pill because when I'm more active and I can get things done, then I'm happier. So I love taking the Ningxia and the Super B first thing in the morning, and then I also apply my morning oils, which Joy and White Angelica are 2 of my must-haves every morning. Now, at school in my office, I have my little oil display. So I have a bunch of oils, and I will sometimes I'm, drawn to or need other ones, but those are the two that I always start out with first thing in the morning, because it's part of the Great Day protocol, and like every morning, but those two I love the most and that I have to have. So if if the white angelica is really good for like I consider myself like an empath. I very easily like absorb other people's energy. So like if you're having a bad day and we're together, then if you're grouchy or negative or complaining or whatever, then I can very quickly bring those emotions, and then I start to have those same emotions as well. If you are very happy and positive, and how they say like that your emotions are contagious, either way, I'm really affected by other people's emotions. So I want to, and especially if they're negative, it's almost like they can seep into me very quickly, and then I can go downhill real fast. And I have to be really conscious of that, because if I start to let the negativity in, I'm sure everybody's like this to a degree, but I just feel like I can go down that negative rabbit hole really, really quickly, and it completely like turns my outlook around, my day around, and I don't want that, right? Like I know that I have to be very conscious and mindful of my positivity. So the white angelica really helps me to stay in a positive mood and kind of like block those other negative energies, from latching on to me. I know that sounds kind of hokey, but
we actually talked about this before you hopped on.
Really?
Before we started recording, though, because I was setting up my diffuser over there, and I said I've been doing white angelica, valor, and orange to wind down in the evenings before bedtime since like all of 2020 and now 2021. And Charlotte said she didn't have white angelica yet, and I'm like, I'm not picking up what you're putting down. Oil,
right.
And you got to have that when there's two little girls in your house. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Aaron can speak with that, and Michael can speak with that. Like two little girls, and I am like, I am not picking up what you're putting down. Like, or we're all.
The same can be said for boys. I have all the boys, so and then at work, there's all the children, all the adults, all the teachers that are so over this school year, and we are ready to be done.
Emotions,
myself included. Yes, emotions, and
yes,
it's just one that I find very fascinating. I need to protect my energy, and I need all the emotional happy oils. So joy was one that I started with my starter kit many moons ago. And it was one that I remember Nikki always said it kind of smelled like, an old grandma or something. And I was like, I like it. And then we started learning about it and, putting it on your heart to really help your emotions. And I know she loves it now too, but it was one that I've always been drawn to. And I have seen this oil do amazing things for certain preteen boys in my house when those emotions and those anger issues come to the surface very quickly, myself included. Like, I'm a very impatient person. I know, surprising, right? A lot of people are like, I told one of my teachers that one time, they're like, I never see you get upset or whatever. I'm like, Oh, well, yeah, I'm pretty impatient, like very quickly. Um, so this Joy, my goodness, I'm not kidding. Less than 10 minutes, you can have a full-blown temper tantrum outburst, severe anger outburst, the hormone, wild and crazy, be tamed, and you are back into your regular state of mind. So that's one reason why we love Joy in this house. And I have many bottles I put the roller top on it because it is great for a quick swipe in the morning, just to make sure that, because honestly, like, I'm over the school year too, and I don't always want to be there every day, but I don't want to put that out there either, so that I start in the right mood. Or if moods go a little south quickly, they can be turned around real fast. And I'm not kidding you, in less than 10 minutes, we've timed it. So those are my two must-have morning oils without fail.
Okay. We're going to move to evening, and we're all going to do 2 minutes on our sundown routine, so we don't get too long on the video. And Michael wants to go first because they are doing house renovations and she's got to help her hubby.
Okay, so Life 9 is something that I take at nighttime. It's great for gut health. I try to take it faithfully. Digestive issues, tummy issues are just a strong genetic thing for my family. We all have issues with all this stuff. So Life 9 is very much needed in my family. So my other cleansing product that I like to use at nighttime is the Mira cleansing oil. It does such a great job. It probably is my favorite between the two that I use. And it's an oil, and I never thought an oil would, clean your face, but it makes your face feel very good once you're done cleaning. It's not drying to your face. It's just very moisturizing. And then the moisturizer that I like to use at nighttime and probably during the day too is the Art Intensive Moisturizer. It's very good for, I have normal to dry skin, mostly normal, but I have times that it gets a little drier. But it's also good for like the skin that is older, your mature skin. And so it's my favorite moisturizer. I'm out in my ER process the other day, and I actually paid for shipping so that it would come quicker. And so I qualified for the free shipping, but I paid for it because I needed it to get here. Then my next thing, it goes along with the Life 9, is the Digize. Again, I could not live without Digize. I used to take over-the-counter medication for like chronic reflux. Again, that's something else that our family suffers with, and I try to control it with everything else that Young Living has. But Digize, I can just at nighttime before I go to bed, I tip the bottle, no capsules, no nothing. It goes directly in my mouth, and then I put some around my belly button, and I typically can control my chronic reflux with the Digize. And then my last, and this is one of the things that sold me on Young Living, was I had to put it together because it's a combination, is the lavender and peace and calming. I have legs that I used to take medication for when just achy and hurting. And I started using lavender and peace and calming, lavender on my calves, peace and calming on my feet, and don't have to take medication. And so when my legs start hurting and start aching, this is the combination that works for me, and it brings such sweet relief. And so it had to go together in my top 5 for evening.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm leaving.
Okay, see you later. I would agree with Michael. I forget about the cleansing oil, but I use it when I'm wearing mascara, and it takes the mascara off like nothing else. So I'll go ahead and do my sundown routine. I snuck the CBD in here. I told y'all I use it in the morning too, but I was trying to limit how many we put on the graphic, right? But that CBD is morning and night for me. I started with 5 drops under the tongue. I probably do a little bit more than that now, but it's not much. It's like the little bottom of the 500 milligram for me. That has kept my anxiety more even throughout the day, to where my valor is like a morning and night thing and not a in my pocket all the time thing, if that like helps. It helps with all the aches and pains too, and definitely I don't miss it in the evening because it helps me sleep. Life 9, because I'm a lifer with the probiotic. Big believer in all the probiotic. Gut health. Definitely not just for digestion though, like 80 to 90% of your immune system is in your gut. So every single person in your house should be on a quality probiotic, my kiddos included. Peace and calming. And I will say that I don't always get peace and calming, because when we have it, I give it to my children because they sleep faster and longer and harder on the peace and calming than anything else. But if I had my choice, my favorite sleep diffuser oil is peace and calming. Like I forever will love that because it helps me sleep the best too. Art Intensive Moisturizer I fell in love with. This is my first bottle. I switched from the Sheer Lame to the Art Intensive Moisturizer in the last year because I was like, hey, 40, probably need it, right? And during the winter, it definitely helps me with dry skin, but I love it. Like I can't wait to go in there and wash my face at night and put that on. Like it has all the benefits of Sheer Lame plus like the intense moisturizing elements. It's Sheer Lame plus I believe it's the sandalwood cream, right? Those are the two that come together in the Art Intensive Moisturizer. So it has the spandex for your skin thing where it's like making your skin super like smooth, the brightening like Sheer Lame has, and then like an intense amount of moisture. I do it at night because I am not super dry to use it in the day, but I did accidentally one time this winter slather all over my face in the morning, and I was like, well, let's just go with it. And then I did my makeup, and later in the day I was like, why does my makeup look so good today? Like, oh, maybe I actually do need the Art Intensive Moisturizer in the morning. It'd probably be too much for me like in the humid summer days that are coming, but like I accidentally found out that it was pretty awesome under makeup, so that's cool. Progessence Plus. And I told you guys when I did the morning routine that I haven't had my Super B in 2 days. I also haven't had my Progessence Plus in 2 days because I'm having some blood work done tomorrow, and I wanted to see like baseline where I'm at. And my head is a dark hole today. I can't think. My mind is fuzzy. I'm super moody and cranky. I have no energy. Everything is the end of the world as it's happening, and I'm losing it. So that tells you how much Super B and Progessence Plus does for me. Like that should speak volumes. Like it is not just hormones. Obviously, it's hormones. As it's progesterone, but it is a mood boosting, happy woman oil. Those are the two, ironically, that Drew has put on the list of things I'm allowed to overnight ship if I'm ever out. So purposely not taking them for 2 days is like I'm literally counting the moments till after they take my blood out. It'll probably be in my purse, both of them, and I'll be like dousing and swallowing like as soon as they take the blood, because I'm a firm believer if I wasn't before. Okay, I'm picking on Erin next.
Okay, so I mean, probiotic, obviously. And Nikki, you had said that you had tried what you thought was to be a good probiotic, and then you got on the Life 9. So I had run out of Life 9, and I was like, I'm just gonna order like what I really think is a good probiotic. And let me tell you, no, there's a huge difference between what you think is a really good probiotic and the Life 9. I mean, and honestly, sometimes you just have to like try one out just to see, how good the Young Living products are. And honestly, it makes a huge difference in everything, honestly. So if you think that not enough come in the bottle or too expensive, it's totally worth whatever, because it does its job and it works well. So definitely probiotic. Just like in the morning, I have a whole pill organizer for the night, because That's what keeps us in our routine. But also, you shouldn't take all of your vitamins at one time because your body can't physically absorb all of those nutrients at one time. So we try to spread out our vitamins and our supplements. And so I put some, I strategically place them in the morning that are helping with energy, and I strategically place some at night so that we can kind of spread out our supplement routine. But Life9 for sure. I'm a huge believer in frankincense before bed. So I put a few drops on my palms. I rub my palms together and I place them over my nose and mouth, and I take 3 huge deep breaths. I put it on the base of my neck, and I always put it on my forehead. That's just my routine. And I for sure can tell a difference in my anxiety levels. And it just kind of helps my brain to stop spinning and helps me calm down. And if I have an especially restless night where I can't get my head to stop thinking, I'll roll over and do it again. Grab my frankincense bottle and take a couple of huffs in the middle of the night. So that's for sure. It's right next to my bed. Usually, like, to calm down in the evening, I do like to take a bath, and I'm lucky I'm talking about it before Mindy gets to it. But an oily bath, man, that's the way to go. So some Epsom salts and whatever oil I feel like using. Usually lavender. I like peace and calming. I actually like joy in the Epsom salt too. So I just take a cup of Epsom salt. Well, I used to measure it out, like a cup of Epsom salts and however many drops. But literally now I just take scoops of handfuls of Epsom salts, throw them in the bathtub, and then my last scoop, I put the oils in so that they have something to attach to, mix it in, and that will help relax my muscles, relax my mind. I'll close the shower curtain and breathe in the vapors. So it's kind of like I'm sitting in the middle of a diffuser, but that really does help calm me down. And I really like lavender lotion. So at night before bed, like putting the lavender lotion on my legs and my arms, one, it helps moisturize me, and two, I feel like it helps me relax and calm down. So all the calming things before bed. But those are the products that I like to use most. Oh, and the Mara is really good. The cleansing oil is really, really good stuff. So there is times when that's just what I use, especially like when we were doing like all the Zooms or staying home and I'm not wearing makeup, then that's just what I'll use is the cleansing oil and just go with that. So it's usually enough, especially in the summertime when I don't need as much moisture. My skin's not as dry, but for sure that is one of the products that I use a lot. So there you go. That's my nighttime. Mindy?
Unmute. So again, we all seem to be having like a lot of the same things. So my nightly handful of pills that I have kind of in the same bottle are Life9 and my Omega Gies. And that's one that nobody else has talked about. So I get to talk about Omega Gies. So the Omegas, like, I guess a lot of people think about either brain function or heart function. And that's fine because we all need to recoup our brain. And I think that, and I want to say Erin touched on the whole thing about, not taking all of your supplements, all at the same time. And I want to say, was it Megan had something about like there's some that are water soluble and some that are oil soluble, and some are better in the morning, some are better at night. And I think I've been doing it right anyways, not on purpose, but on accident. But so Omega Jazz is kind of like it's like a little oily capsule. I do keep them in the fridge. I don't really notice like a bad taste from, like being fishy or anything, but I don't know. But I still keep them in the refrigerator because the Life9 needs to be in the refrigerator. That's probably why too. That helps. Anyway, but Omega Jazz is also good for like eye health and joint health, and it can also help boost your immune. So I'm still trying to hit all the things with all of the things, right? Super D, that's another one that nobody else has really talked about. So I take my Super C in the morning, and I take my Super D at night. I take it basically to keep my immune system boosted. I know there's a lot of reasons that people take D, and I think it also goes back to like connective tissue and like body things too. But I started hitting the Super D really hard about a year ago. So, and I just haven't quit because I do only take one unless I'm addressing, unless I'm feeling really bad. But I'm just I guess that's like my maintenance number. It's just the one. I've been using my progestins at night, and I go back and forth between the inner arm, the tummy, and the inside of my right ankle because that's the Vitaflex point for the girly organs. So I don't know. On the bottle, I think it says to rotate. So some of y'all just put, I got on the inner arm, and I don't know why it makes you rotate, but it does. And so, and then the last one on my nighttime was oily bath, and Aaron stole my thunder, but that's okay. Sometimes I even use the bath bombs. I like the stress away bath bombs. A little bit better than the lavender, just because I don't know, I just do. But one of my favorite things to put, and I see I think it's Sherry that likes patchouli, right? I love patchouli and geranium and lavender. I don't know. I think that smells really good. But I also like peace and calming in my oily bath. Something else that I guess I kind of do at night is my face routine, but I don't have just one thing. Like it depends on, like I've got charcoal soap in the bathtub. So if I'm taking a bath, that's what I use. But I've got like our pumper in the shower. So if I'm taking a shower, then that's what I use. So I guess I'm all over the place, because have you met me? Yeah, that's me. So anyway, Michael is gone, so I think it's Charlotte's turn now.
Oh, same here. I use all this stuff and do all the things. But when I joined Young Living, I joined it because of anxiety, and I needed something, and anxiety caused me not to be able to sleep. So when I got a diffuser with my kit. Young Living created a monster, because now I have diffusers everywhere going all day long forever. But at night, I have to have something in the diffuser, and it's always cedar wood, no matter what. But when they came out with the winter nights and the vanilla, it just added something. And at night, I'm able, it calms me down, and it helps me, like my mind not to race so much. So that is always in the diffuser to help me sleep at all times. But so I have to do that. And because of the osteoporosis, I have to keep with my immune system, I do use the Thieves and Frank constant. I have it in a roller. I always use that down my spine and on the bottom of my feet. And because I have terrible sinus drainage, and it only happens at night. I have no clue why, but it's when I lay down. And so I have the Thieves cough drops. No one has mentioned those. Those are the most amazing things ever. And before, I had cough drops, just get them at the store. What I would find myself waking up and using like 5, 6 cough drops, all night long, and still I have the drainage, I still have a little cough, and nothing helped. And so when I got the Thieves cough drops, I only had to use one cough drop night. And it lasts, I just put it over here, and it stays there all night, and I don't have a problem with it. And I wake up, but I do use RC on my chest too, to help with that drainage and things. But those things I have to have. Definitely, like I said, Thieves and the Frank, but the cough drops, always. You will not see me without cough drops. I have bags upon bags upon bags. And when it's out of stock, oh my gosh, that's why I buy so many at a time, because I'm like, I can't run out of those. But anyways, y'all should try those. Those are really delicious, and you can be addicted to them, because I like to eat them. They're so good. But anyway, so that's pretty much. And I do the face cleansing. The bloom is when I do it at night. And now that I moved into this nice place, it's really nice that I have my own little spot. And so I was able to get into my routine again and use that on my face, and my jade roller with the Beauty Boost. And then I have the beauty serum as well. And so I just, sometimes I use the boost, and sometimes I use the serum. But I've actually noticed where my dark little spots are like fading, which is yay. But that bloom is a miracle. I love that stuff. And but yeah, so that's my routine. That's what I do.
That'd be you, Megan.
Okay, I think it's my turn now. So I am also another big oily bath person. There will never be a day probably that I don't take at least one bath. Um, it's just my happy spot. So I will use any oil, and I've done a lot of the ones that Mindy said because I know she's also a big oily bath person. So if she says this is good in the bath, I'm like, okay, I'll try that too. So I've done her patchouli and lavender and geranium one before. But in the bath, so I use the charcoal bar soap to wash my face, and I mean wash everywhere really, because I just love it. I love the way it smells, first of all, but it is really good for just a cleanser too. But I'm also like Mindy, where I do have lots of the different face products because I like all of them. So if I'm in the bath, which I usually am, then I use the charcoal bar soap, but I also have the orange blossom one in there too. But then if I'm at the sink, then I use the bloom, but I love the charcoal one the most. And then I will use some toner, which I think that's not on my graphic, so sorry, it's bonus. I use some kind of toner, so it's either the art toner or the bloom toner, whichever one I have on hand right there. And then the CBD Beauty Boost all over. And then I love the Art Intensive Moisturizer as well, because I have pretty dry skin. Normally, like it's normally dry. The charcoal bar soap doesn't make my skin like extra dry like a lot of bar soaps normally would, but I'm just dry. So I love the Art Intensive all year long, because I feel like sometimes if it used to be like if my face was dry, I could not sleep. I know that's so weird. So I use that all year long at night, and that's where I put my frankincense in. I'll put just a couple drops in the Art Intensive and put that all over my face. So that's like, I try to be really consistent with my face routine, at least at night, because I don't do it in the morning. I don't do anything in the morning. So I try to do it at least once a day at night. And then, I mean, yeah, that I like frankincense at night too to help me sleep. That's why I put it on right before I go to bed, so that it's all over and I can smell it in my hands, like Erin said. But I will say that Peace and Calming is also one of my top faves for sleep. And I have a roller next to my bed, and I roll that all over. Y'all probably all know this, that I have to wear one of those sleep masks at night, and it really bothered me that I could not smell oils like in the diffuser. Like Phil has a diffuser on his side of the bed. I still have a diffuser on my side of the bed so that I can diffuse anyway, because I'm still a big believer that the oils will get into you. But since I have to wear one of those sleep masks and I can't put oils in that thing, I literally roll oils all over my body just so I know that they're seeping in, so that I can get some good sleep. So that's what I do at night. And I also didn't put on the graphic, but Life 9, huge believer. And my family also has a lot of digestive issues. So
there were definitely some things. Some people said they left Ninja off because they're like, that's a given, right? And I'm like,
that's a given, right?
Y'all don't need to know that I brush my teeth and wash my face, but I do that even if it's not on the graphic.
I know.
Life 9 is always.
I just hit my favorite.
So Life 9 is so I guess we should do like a given list. Like this is we for real do given.
A class sometime or whatever.
Like Nisha and Life 9 and Super B. I feel like those are given. So
I feel like it should be your PM skincare routine and your PM health routine. Like they should be. And maybe
we could have definitely broken it up, because
I'm a big believer in the art toner too. When you said that, I was like, oh yeah, I don't go morning or night without the art. So,
Yeah.
lots and lots and lots of good stuff. And that we all like, if you're listening to this and you're newer, like none of us started every single thing the very first month. We started out with a plan and a budget and a little sticky note next to my desk, my computer, on my desk next to my computer, and did my essential rewards order. And it was like, okay, well, this, like, I had to get LLP every month, right? So I was like, now I just have like this much in the budget, like, and I would add one thing at a time, and I would be so excited to try a new supplement. Or I remember when we moved into this house and I was like, I'm getting that Thieves essential rewards kit this month, right? And we threw all the cleaners out and started in this house with the Thieves essential rewards kit. And so everything was like slow going. And then all of a sudden you have slowly replaced like all of the toxins in your house. They're super concentrated products. I keep thinking I'm at the end of the art intensive moisturizer, and it's like, oh, just kidding, there's more. Like, and it just like keeps coming out of that little pump. I'm like, it's gonna be super sad when that stops working. But
and then you get like unscrew, and then you've got another 2 weeks.
Oh, there
like,
you go. That's good
for
to know.
sure.
Like we do the toothpaste, cut the end off the toothpaste.
Yes, the liquid foundation. I mean, I didn't even talk about it. I use Savvy Minerals every single morning, like my makeup. But the foundation, I swear, for 3 weeks, all I have been doing is rubbing the pump straw thing on the side and then just using it. I mean, 3 weeks, and I finally.
That's funny that you said that, because I dropped mine and broke it, and that's what I do too. I just do the little straw thing in it and then pull it out and put it on. So
I mean, most people would
throw
throw stuff away, but man, that stuff you can get like a long time.
Oh yeah.
I just finished my Bloom face wash from last June. So it lasted me a good solid 11 months, because I would use like a tiny, because I use, I'm like, I use that in the time that I'm not in the shower. When I'm in the shower, I use the charcoal. So like it was once a day for 11 months. Like this stuff is super concentrated and literally lasts forever. So when you replace something, like you really don't have to replace that again and again and again. Like the things we probably run through the fastest are deodorant, because it's deodorant, and then toothpaste, in general. And those are probably the things we run out of the fastest. Wherever is everything else like lasts so long that like I'll forget. My husband will be like, "Are you gonna buy me more shampoo or what, woman?" I'm like, "Oh, we only order that like once or twice a year, so I totally forgot that you need shampoo." Anyway, that is our sun up and sun down routine. We'll have to check the tribe after we get off and see if anybody was asking any questions. I'm going to end the live stream.